a fishtail key tag. I got some leather somewhere over here. I got these pieces. I got some thinner pieces. I think this one will do for now. I want to pick a place where it's going to be somewhat efficient use of space. So this will be some kind of strap. So I'm gonna, let's pick somewhere over there. Perfect. Just like that. So we got the general shape lined up. And it's gonna be about a long. So the reason that it's shaped like this is so that when it's in your pocket, deep in your pocket, you can just grab it with your fingers just like that and it'll come out. Of course, I could have made it some other shape, but this uses the least amount of weight for what it does. To cut, I'll be using this some kind of Japanese leather knife. Ooh, I just noticed that we got a defect in the leather here, so we're just going to trace that again. Let's see if we can find a smaller piece of leather. And from our scrap bin. We got something like this. It's not ideal because, hey, that's kind of not bad. We can do something like this. Something like that. It's gonna be a really long piece. When I first made this one about a year and a half ago. It's holding up, maybe 2 years ago. It's holding up just fine. So usually I would have my head directly over the piece of leather that I'm cutting, but since I'm showing you, we're just gonna cut it from looking at it sideways. Wow, that's really long. This one looks more like a shark than a fish. It's a little bit more slender. over here, I'm approaching the critical dimension of the width. So I have to pay closer attention to the cutting. Kind of like that. Okay. I don't like this part. This part's too obtuse. That's better. I hope you can see. Put the camera on top. So I've got one of these. I don't know what happened to my other one, but I'm getting organized. In time it'll happen. So I gotta take this one off. Put this one on. First time using this particular tool. I think it's called an edger. I think it's good for edging. We don't really need this. But let's put it on anyways. I'll try to see if I have time for a highlights video, because the long form doesn't appeal to everyone. Let's see if it works. Terrible. I'm terrible, not the tool. Just an initial pass. I'm looking at this. Still a little too fat over here. I think it's the proportions. I think I need it a little small to begin with. I'm just going to use this emery board instead. This part is normally when I would ask, how you doing? How's your day? If you're right beside me. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're up to. I don't know why you're watching this video. But if you are, that makes me happy. So for this long part, I'm just going to use one of these planes. My tools back. There we go. Not bad. Other side. Feels like I'm carving. I actually made this the original out of 9-ounce leather, and this is about 7 ounces, so slightly thinner than the original. I had a lot of fun making this the first time because I just watched the movement of the leather just sweeping back and forth. Now we gotta fold it over and sew that on. I gotta feel the proportions. Feels about right over there. So I'll make a mark. You know, I recently moved from Vancouver, Canada to California. And I haven't had much success making friends. Part of the reason why I'm here. I want to find my people. And when I was watching YouTube, I was told that I would find my people online because you are my neighbors. We are neighbors. This is the kind of video that I would watch when I'm about to go to sleep, because it's boring. Not exactly the fast cut montage. So here I have this much tiger thread. And then with any kind of sewing, I just put the thread back into itself, like so. And back into itself, like so. And now we start wrapping it. So it was about here, right? Yeah, that looks about right. So you wrap it and wrap it. But then before I wrap it, I need to plan. I need to plan. Okay. So if I need to. Right. It's called, I think it's called like an alpine knot, where I go through after wrapping it in itself many times. I think I'm going out of frame. I'm wrapping quite tightly. Now, that thing is not coming apart. Now we gotta thread it back. Okay, thread it back like so. I think the trick is to just hold it right in front of my face, that way both you and me can see it, instead of just putting it right underneath my chin and going out of frame. Snip, lighter, and this thing goes back here. Lighters go back. This thing goes back. And now it's pocket-sized. Slightly smaller, tiny bit smaller than the original, but I'm okay with that. We're not trying to make a perfect duplicate. Something that works and feels nice. The last step is the application of walnut oil. that's not gonna work. Let's cut the bit like so. That should do it. The oil makes it darker. And more resistant to stain. The color darkens over time. Something else that I've learned to appreciate about leather. There's mechanical properties about leather which I find really interesting compared to working with some other synthetic material, or even compared to fabric. Like it stretches a little bit, and that's really fun to play around with. Let's do a little bit more oil. That goes back. I would have burnished the edges, but for this type of product, I don't think it really matters as much. Normally to burnish, I just use this thing. But it's a bit redundant. It's supposed to be a humble product. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.